doing something a little different today. I'm gonna be looking at my workout that I've been doing recently. Been taking a lot of advice from Kay Bogues, I think that's how you pronounce it. Really moving away from weightlifting, getting more into calisthenics, just because I enjoy it. I can do it from home, and it's quick, and I don't need a ton of equipment. So today I'm doing wider grip pull-ups. Typically this targets the lats a little more. Chose wide grip pull-ups today because I did a closer grip pull-up variation yesterday, really hit the biceps, and so they were a little fatigued, so needed something that targeted the back a little bit more. I usually don't train back. I used to be a swimmer, and so I have really wide lats, like a really wide back, so I don't train it too crazy. But one thing I noticed with these wide grip ones is I couldn't really get the scapular retraction that I was looking for. And so you'll notice here that I kind of bring my shoulders back and down, try to get some activation from the lower trap and just the scapular retractors in general before I go to do that wide grip pull up. And so I'm kind of going through the motions here, really trying to pull everything back. That's also something I've been working on, is a little better thoracic extension. I tend to kind of go into thoracic kyphosis a lot, which I think is from when I was younger, trying to hide my gynecomastia, which is a genetic issue that happens when there's a little extra fat under the nipples there. But it's a genetic thing, so you can't change it. So I've just been trying to reverse that posture. And so you'll see here I get a little bit better scapular retraction, but you can definitely see that like I went pretty close to failure on that first set. I think I only got like, I don't know, 8 reps on that one. And so you'll see here again, really trying to get that thoracic extension, get some stabilization in the deep abdominals, and just get everything working in the posterior chain before I go to do that pull-up movement. And I'm testing kind of different widths, and I think on this last one I actually go a little narrower width because I noticed that I could feel my scapular retractors a little better when my grip was a little narrower. So that's one thing I did for this last one. This last set, I think I only get like 5 or 6 here. But that's another thing I haven't really been caring about, is the number of reps I get. All I've been caring about is slow and controlled, get near failure, but not quite to failure, and just keep the form really good. And you'll probably see around the 5th or 6th one, I'm using my legs to kick up, which I shouldn't be doing, but even though I'm a doctor of physical therapy, I still make mistakes. But that's another reason why I wanted to video my workout, is to for you guys to see what I do, for you guys to see that I'm not perfect, and for me to actually look at myself and fix some things. And you'll see here, even after I'm making sure that I stay in that thoracic extension, try to get a little bit scapular retraction activation. So here, I've been doing some elevated push-ups with the rings, and yesterday I did dips, and I find that the dips really load my anterior delts and my triceps more than my chest. And so today I'm going for something that's going to load my chest a little more. And I know what you're thinking, wow, your back is not stable here. And you're right. One thing I also struggle with is excessive lumbar extension. I potentially have spondylolisthesis, which has not been confirmed, but I suspect that I have it. But I have a long history of like just some abdominal surgeries and some weakness in the deep abdominals. So what I noticed here was, number one, with that shirt on, it's hard for me to see my shoulder and scapular movement. So I'm actually in the next clip going to change that so that I can see my shoulders a little better. And you'll notice I get a little bit better at stabilizing and pulling the scapula back, really trying to get a really basically the maximum range of motion that I can. But you'll notice that my lower back is still kind of in that extension position, which is not crazy bad as far as like I'm gonna hurt myself or cause pain, but It just doesn't demonstrate the lumbopelvic stability that I encourage in my patients and in people who train. So you'll notice at the top of the movement, I kind of lock it in, but as I go down, I get a little more extended. So you'll see this next one, my main focus is keeping that lumbopelvic region stable, and you'll notice a little less extension. But you'll also notice that I'm struggling a little bit, and that's because I am taking these relatively close to failure. And so I think I only get like 6 or 7 reps on this last one, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. Push-up seems like a pretty simple exercise, and if I wasn't elevated and I wasn't on rings and I wasn't focusing on full range of motion, I could probably get like 50 in a row, but that's not what I'm prioritizing right now. So here I'm getting ready for my lower body movement, which is going to be a sissy squat. But I'm doing a regular squat here because it's another thing I've been working on recently, trying not to get that butt wink at the bottom, but still get full range of motion. And so I'm using the rings here to more help with stability, because I'm not really doing this to improve like my balance and my stability in this position. I'm doing this to load the quads a little more. And the reason I chose the sissy squat today was because yesterday we had Kung Fu. My hips were so fatigued, so tired. I didn't want them to be a limiting factor. So this is gonna primarily load the quads, and I gradually built up to this, so I can pretty much load my knees in this position with zero pain. I actually get a pretty good stretch response at the end. And so I can even push out of that deep position without pain and just loading the quads. And this is one way for me to just get really good, not only strength, but mobility training in the knees and the quads. But you'll notice the rings, I started them a little too, well, I started my position a little too far back. So you'll notice it looks like I'm relying on the rings a little too much. And gradually, so you saw there, I got close to failure, and I'm kind of using the rings to give me a little assistance. But you'll notice the next couple ones that I do, I'm slowly moving that foam pad on the ground more forward, so I rely less on the rings and more on the quads. But you'll even notice in all of these, as I get close to failure, I want to keep it safe, and that's why I have the rings. So if for some reason I lose my balance, I lose stability, I'm not loading one knee and coming to the ground, I'm catching myself with my arm. So really, I prioritize safety. And then second priority is obviously loading the quads. So you can kind of see that strain on my face. And so one reason I use the foam pad, I have really bony feet. And so I've found that when I load the ball of my foot through like a hardwood floor, I tend to bruise it because of all the pressure on it. So I try to put the foam pad under me as much as I can. But you'll see I move the foam pad a little more forward. I'm relying a little less on the rings here. And the first couple sets I got 10. I don't get 10 here. I get maybe 6, 7, 8. But that was the goal, you know. I expected to get fewer reps as I got further down. And so my goal really is to do one push movement, one pull movement, and one leg movement every single day. Not crazy high reps, not crazy high intensity. I'm really focusing on consistency, because over my life I've noticed that the consistency is what gives me the best results. So this is something I might do a little more in the future if you guys like it. So let me know if you guys like this in the comments below. I do several different variations depending on how I'm feeling, depending on what I feel needs to be stronger. And really, a lot of times it's just like, man, what can I do today? Do I need to go easy? Do I want to train strength? Do I want to train power? But always training a pull, push, and leg movement every day. So if you like this stuff, I think I'm going to be doing more of this stuff, because it helps me reflect on my training, but I think it also, you can pull a lot of concepts out of here that you may benefit from. So please comment below if you liked this video, what else you want to see, what you do for your training, and subscribe for more videos like this, and I'll catch you guys next time.